Hey Flosstube, welcome to this special edition of Creative Whims Studio. Hey friends, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Today is all about new releases. So by the time you see this video, your favorite LNS or ONS, which is your, we always use these acronyms and then I think some people might be new to cross stitch. So your LNS is your local needlework shop and your ONS is your online needlework shop. If you have a retail shop near you, please support them. We need to keep them in business. So shop locally if possible. They will have all of the information on all of these new releases by the time you see this video. So if you see something you like, get a hold of your favorite shop and place a pre-order. We have everything in stock as well. So as soon as the orders from our shop start coming in, we will start shipping orders. So yeah, I'm super excited. This is one of my favorite seasons to design for. I have a ton to show you. This video is going to be just full of eye candy. Yeah, I'm really excited. And between fall, Halloween, and Christmas, I could just design those and be happy. Well, I take that back. I really like designing samplers too, but okay, Teresa, move on. Let's get into the new releases. It's so exciting, I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with I Love Fall. So I Love Fall is this sweet little scarecrow. I just love his little face. He was part of my Bittersweet farm fabric line that came out last year, and he was one of the little scarecrows that was included in that line. So I love fall most of all. I love that he has sunflowers and quilt blocks and then a little beehive. I know most people think of bee skeps and bees in the summer, but I feel like they're more busy in the fall than ever because of like apples that have fallen off the tree, just the sweet fruits and the scents that are around. I don't know. We have so much bee activity here in the fall. I apologize for my loud, what do you call it? Air conditioner. But y'all, it's going to be in the 90s the next few days here in Michigan. What is the deal with that? So I apologize for the noise, but anyway, let me give you all the details on this sweet little guy. The stitch count is 117 by 105. I'm having a hard time keeping him straight. This was stitched and finished by Tammy Blaylock, 1/2 on 40 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. It was finished using Jack Mini Pom Pom by Lady Dot Creates, Muted Sedona Rick Rack by Fiber on a Whim, which is down here. That cute little button that you see here, that's Lori Holt. And the fabric she used around that sunflower fabric, that's my fabric from the Bittersweet Farm fabric line. And then this round, cute little wicker tray, she got that at Hobby Lobby. The item number is 1960731. Of course, this was a year ago, so I don't know if they have this tray anymore. But Tammy not only stitched it, but she finished it and brought it to market to give to me this past market. So super sweet of her. I love him. If you like prim colors, this guy's for you. If you love him but you think the colors are too muted and prim, then by all means pick out brighter colors that suit your palette. And it's so cute. It was not intended to be finished in a round when I designed it. It's more of a square shape, but she did a great job making that into a round and making everything fit in there nicely. Super cute. So thank you, Tammy. Beautiful job. Oh yes, this is all full stitches. There are 3 classic colorworks, 2 DMC, and the rest, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks dye works, and the rest are DMC. And I have the DMC equivalent for the overdyed floss. So that is I Love Fall. Okay, so let me just give you a little insight here. I am running out of room in my studio right now. I am getting ready for a retreat at Quilter Station the first week of September. So last night I started putting the floss kits together, and I thought to myself, after I got all that laid out, I'm like, you big dummy, that's where you lay all your stuff when you show your new releases. So now I'm on this other table, which is a little more crowded, but I'm sure we'll make do. Okay, next we have Thankful Receiver. Thankful Receiver, oh, this cute little guy. He has been in my studio for over a year waiting to be released. What happened was I got the stitch piece back, and it was like I had no time. I want to say I already did my new release video for last fall when this came back. That, or it came back and I just didn't have time to finish it before my new release video. So anyways, this was supposed to be released last year, but hey, he's been stewing and hanging out with me here at the studio. He's perfectly fine with that. Oh, and I wanted to show you, so I have kind of a mix of how the patterns are going to be coming this time. So that I Love Fall will be in a 6x9 bag. So just so you know what to look for when you're at your store. Okay, Thankful Receiver. This was model stitched by Kim Fishlin, 1/2 on 40 count Dunes by Fiber on a Win. Finished on a Chantelle's 141 Heart Bender board. The stitch count is 129 by 152. This one has 1 classic colorworks, 2 weeks dye works, and a slew of DMC. Again, I give the equivalent for DMC if you want to switch out the overdyes. The overdyes, you know, that's why I try to add a few in each project. Some projects are all overdyed, some are all DMC, some have a mix. I just, you know, do what works for the design. But when there's only a few variegated flosses, I say go for it because it just adds interest to the piece. All right. Okay, so this little guy, let me read it to you. You probably have read it by now, but it might be hard to see on the screen. The Thankful Receiver bears a plentiful harvest. So this little guy, this pumpkin head with the long stem, is in his Bittersweet garden, and there's a little story under the inspiration part of the pattern when you get it. But basically he's out picking the bittersweet for his lovely bride because she makes bittersweet wreaths. Now, I would love to grow some bittersweet. I do know you have to have, my friend tried to do it and it didn't work very well because you have to have like a male and a female plant in order for them to pollinate and make bittersweet. So she struggled, her and her husband just couldn't make it work, but I love bittersweet. His little cat is following him out to the garden. He also has a sweet little gourd birdhouse and his little rake, you know, because while he's out there, he's gonna rake some leaves and do some chores. You better hurry up because the moon is out, so it's getting dark. And now who doesn't love his plaid pants, right? So around town, they call him Fancy Pants because his wife makes him all these fun baggy pants that are plaid. I just think that's such a cute touch. And then this bender board from Chantelle, I painted it, as you can see, like a burnt orange underneath. It's almost red, actually. I gotta get my face out of there. And then I painted black over it, and then I sanded it to give it that cool grungy effect. So pretty. I love it so much. Now here is what that one will look like. Thankful Receiver when you're shopping at your LNS. Da 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 da! Pumpkin Pals. Pumpkin Pals. I love this. So this was something that I sketched out shortly after Coco's Garden was released at Market in March. Coco's Garden was a huge hit, and it's been fun to see the finishes of it on social media. So I went to town on designing the next little pocket, and I wanted to add a little bit more to this pocket design. So I added these 3 little characters that you can stitch up individually. So you can stitch them to sit in here, or you can just stitch these for your kids or grandkids to play with. You could stitch just this and fill it with Bittersweet. I mean, there's some options here for you. Now on this piece, I don't have finishing instructions because Susan Coates finished this for me as well. And as you may remember, she finished Coco's Garden for me as well. She did the instructions on how to finish Coco's Garden. I got it right here. Let me just grab it. So Coco's Garden was the first of the pockets that I designed, and it was released at Market this past March. And she wrote finishing instructions on how to finish this step by step with photos, okay? This is finished basically the same way, okay? She used the same materials to finish this as she did that one. All right, so let me give you the details on this cute little thing. Okay, Pumpkin Pals was model stitched by Mary Schreiner, 2/2 on 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. Now that's for the characters, okay? The pumpkin bucket was stitched on 32 count Squirrel Nutkin by Tabby Cat Linens. It was finished by Susan Coates. So the stitch counts for these, so he's Jacko. Jacko is 31 by 66. Ted, which is the teddy bear in the center, 40 by 68. And then Tabby, the little black cat, is 38 by 67. So they're very small, and they're super sweet. I just love them. So what I also did, when you get the chart, you're just gonna have, they were just black circles for the eyes. And every time I walked past, I've had this in my studio for, I don't know, a couple months now. And every time I walked past it, I was like, I don't like those eyes. I don't like those eyes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, just put something buttons on there. So I went through my antique button collection and I picked out a couple little vintage buttons to put in his eyes, and it just brought him right to life, and I love that. So the wire is the same kind of wire. To be honest, I don't remember what wire or what ribbons I gave her. I gave her a black and an orange, and so she kind of made it twist, which, because I didn't know if I wanted black or orange, and Susan, the genius that she is, said, well, I'll just do both. So yeah, that is Pumpkin Pals. Let me take each one of them out so you can see them. Okay, so here we got Jacko. This is Jacko. Hopefully it's not blurry. It's blurry to me because my glasses I need new glasses. This is Ted. He's holding a little pumpkin. He's ready to go trick-or-treating. I love his little sideways smile. I have to tell you something funny. This guy, love him. And he has been charted. He has been charted for, I'm going to say like 3 years. I just didn't think he was, I didn't know what to do with him. Let's put it that way. I didn't think he would be, I don't know. I felt like he needed something else. Well, I'm glad I waited now because he's perfect for this trio. And this is my favorite one, Tabby. Look, he's holding a little pumpkin bucket as well. His face just cracks me up. Okay, hold on. We gotta get focused in on that face. Look at his face. So adorable. So yeah, guys, what do you think? 32 count. Are you proud of me for designing something on 32 count? I get people asking me all the time, why is everything stitched on 40 count? Can you do, you know, 32 count? And so anyway, here you go. I love that they're all of them are holding a little pumpkin bucket. So they're getting ready, they're pumpkin pals getting ready to go out trick-or-treating. Just so sweet how they sit in there. Just so, I just love that. So much fun. And here is the pattern for pumpkin pals. Okay, next we are continuing in the every season series. We only have 2 more. So we have the fall one ready for you now. This one is called Time to Reap. So in the spring we had Time to Sow. That was a market release in March. And then just, I don't know, last month, we released Time to Work. So they sowed their garden, then they worked in their garden, and in the fall they get to reap all the benefits of their hard labor in their garden. I absolutely love this. I love he's blowing in a cornucopia and all of the leaves and the pumpkin, apples, and gourds are flying out of it. Don't ask me. Don't ask me what goes on in this head of mine. But I just think that's a fun touch. And then she's on the other side holding an apple. There's a big old turkey in the yard. It's fall, so you can't go wrong with that dark gray house. Love it. So there's apples and pumpkins. Their little kitty is there. The dog must have been in trouble because he's in the house. Because they had a dog last month. Now they have a kitty. They had a cat in the first one too. So anyways. Hey, we can have multiple pets, right? So this is finished on Chantelle's rustic rhythm board. And as you can see, I painted both sides of mine. So this star does not come with this board. This was a star, I don't remember. I've had it in my stash forever. I need to do another one for this side so that I can just turn it around. It still looks fine without it, but I love that star on there. So as I'm holding this, I will give you all the details. This is going to come in a book because the other 2 came in a book as well. So here's what the cover looks like, A Time to Reap. So we only have 1 more in this series, which will be coming out in October. All right, let's see. I got to get to this page I need here. Okay. Model stitched by Marianne Monson, 1/2 on 40 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. Finished on Chantelle's rustic rhythm board using Lady Dot Creates mini pom pom in the color Jack. So yeah, that is number 3 in our every season series. Okay, so far they've all been stitched on Thornfield, but I can tell you that the winter one, because there's snow in it and Thornfield is so light, I did switch up the fabric for the last one, and it's going to be on Sleeping Bear, and it's darker, more the color of this wood piece, but it's going to look awesome with some trim around it to kind of set it off. So anyway, and these fit so perfectly in between there. It's like you don't even need trim. It just frames it so nicely. Okay, next is one of my favorites. This sketch has been in my sketchbook for, I'm gonna say 3 years. And every time I saw it, I'm like, really, you need to get that charted and get that out, because every time I looked at it and read the words, I just thought of me and Kevin. And I love this. So this is Kevin in our early days when we were really, really thin. So this one is called My Dear. And I think it's just wonderful. The way they're looking at each other, it's just so loving. And then the kitty on the pumpkin, I love that. And the little kitty over here, the squirrels with the acorn, the birds, those giant flowers coming out of the chimney of the house. I mean, it has everything you would want for fall. So I'm going to read what it says to you while you take a gander. Is it the acorns, pumpkins, or crisp, cool air making my heart so full of cheer? Or perhaps it's you, my dear, standing so near. So this is called My Dear, and it's just a sweet sentiment, and it's like something for people that are in love. I mean, I don't think we have very many fall romantic pieces, right? She's got little tiny pumpkins in her basket. I thought that was cute. I love how all the colors show up on this as well. So here's all the details. Model stitched by Mary Schreiner, 1/2 on 40 count wheat by Fiber on a Whim, framed by Bird's Custom Framing in Bay City, Michigan. It's a cool frame. It looks black, but it's really like a dark brown, and it matches his pants. I mean, I'd like to have that out all year, to be honest. It's my colors. It's my house colors. Here is the book that it comes in. Unfortunately, the book, I fiddle farted around with the coloring, trying to get that pretty yellow fabric. And look how light it came out. And I'm pretty good at Photoshop, and I did everything I could to get that to look more yellow. But when I put too much yellow in it, then it just threw off all the other colors. So just keep in mind, if you stitch this on wheat by Fiber on a Whim, you're going to have that beautiful yellow tone. It's so, so pretty. That one has one Classic Colorworks, one Weeks Dye Works, and a slew of DMC. And I give the DMC equivalent to those 2 overdyes. I forgot to mention, on a time to sew, or a time to reap, I use the same floss colors that I do with what I started with. When I started the spring one, and then I went into the summer one, I basically colored, or took that palette. I had to add some blue because I didn't have blue in the spring one. So I added some blue. And then here for Time to Reap, I had to add some orangey colors. But like the reds are the same, the grays are the same. So I'm trying to keep it so that it's very cohesive and will work in your decor. Can you hear my dog snoring? We're going to go into, I do have a couple more stitch pieces, but it's kind of like a little collection, so I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to go over a couple punch needle. So this is Candy Corn Kitty. He's got a candy corn hat and a super goofy grin. I love him. He had a little candy corn garland behind him, and he lost a bunch of the candy corns. And look at that pumpkin face. Come on. Is that just hilarious or what? This is, I punched it and finished it. This is finished on, I think it's called the Shelby board from Chantelle 141. And basically, I just painted it black and then sanded it and put a little bit of, you know, not stain. I use like you can even just take acrylic paint in raw umber and water it down, and then just use a rag and dip your finger in with the rag and just go over it so you're not getting stain out, because stain is messy and smelly. So there's ways around that. This is Lady Dot ribbon. I want to say the color Jack, but I'm not 100% sure. I do not have that on the pattern. A detail I forgot to put on there. This is done with a Weeks Dye Works and one Valdani color. That background requires 6 3-strand Valdani. Yeah, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Weeks Dye Works, but there's multiples of some of those. So anyway, As you know, if you do punch needle, it takes a lot of thread. He's got a giant bow on his neck. So cute. So that's Candy Corn Jack. My battery's about to die on my camera. So I'm going to go over the next punch needle. So the next punch needle is going to bring us into some exclusives that were for Primitive Gatherings last fall. This is called Spooked Sam. And oh, look at his little scared face. I don't know what spooked him, but you know, make-up stories. It could be. Oh, you know what? I don't know what board this is from Chantelle. I'll look it up. I know, it's the everything board. It must be the small. The small or the mini everything board. Gal, I'm getting good at remembering some of her boards. I use them enough, right? Okay, so I punched and finished this guy for the Primitive Gatherings retreat last year. That is, oh gal, rickrack. I don't know the color of that rickrack. Doggone it. It's not on the pattern. Sorry guys. And then for the board, I just painted it black underneath, and then I painted it a burnt orange color, and then just sanded it so some of that black would show. Look at the Bittersweet around him. I'm really into Bittersweet this year. Well, this was actually last year. I'm into Bittersweet every fall. This one was, I used 1 DMC and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Valdani. I have 1 each of 3 different pearl cottons, and then 1 or 2 of a 3-strand. It's all listed on the pattern. Because this was for a retreat and I supplied, or they made kits for the floss, I don't have the DMC equivalent. So my bad on that, but. Okay, that's it for Spooked Sam. Look at his cute face. I love the variegation in the background. Love that so much. That's probably what I used for the, I had 2 of those. 0531, I used the 3-strand cotton for the background. Oh, love it so much. So those are my 2 punch needle. So that, like I said, was from, that last one, Spooked Sam, was from the Primitive Gathering retreat last fall, along with this amazing wool applique. I love this. I think this is so pretty. Of course, I used Primitive Gatherings wool for this piece, and they made kits for people to buy at the retreat, which was so wonderful. And they also gave lessons on how to do wool applique. I did not do lessons, but they did. I did punch needle, they did wool applique lessons. Okay, so Autumn Squirrel, the finished size is 9 by 11. This was model stitched by Leanne Quigley. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors of wool in there. Look at those leaves. Oh my goodness, the variegation on those leaves. And then all of the thread that was used, there's 2 DMC, my apologies, 2 DMC, and then there's 3 Valdani, pearl cotton number 12. Look at the little bee. So fun. And then the squirrel's eye is a 3/16 inch Jabco button, which is just another button, company button. Perfect size for his little eyeball. But I think it's so sweet. Okay, so here's what the pattern looks like. I don't think I showed the pattern for that last punch needle. I'm not very consistent, am I? Anyway, here's Spooked Sam. I gotta get my face there. Okay, now the 2 cross stitch pieces that they received at the Primitive Gatherings retreat last fall is, here's one, Bittersweet drum. Let me get out of there. Love this piece. Love, 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 love. There's the turkeys and pumpkins. There's a squirrel at the bottom. Aluminum pumpkin, acorn. Let's see what's on the other side. Another turkey. And this another squirrel. He's like down in the border, which I love that little feature. And there we go. Oh, no, that's the only squirrel. Okay. There's the seam, which you really can't tell. Done very well. All right, let's go over the details. Bittersweet Farm Drum. Stitch 1/2 on 36 count vintage country mocha. It was stitched by Mary Schreiner and finished by Susan Coates. And I don't have all the details on the rickrack. I do know that's Lady Dot Creates velveteen. I know that. Probably the color Jack, I'm not sure. And I know that's, pretty sure that's her rickrack, but I don't know the color, sorry. And then there's some cute little fabric for the bottom. This drum, I mean, you could throw it, it's like a football. It's done so well, it's stuffed so good. Beautiful job done by Susan Coates. And of course, Mary Schreiner stitching, you can't beat it. Oh, I love this. So yeah, this is, you can see by the size, you know, I have it sit on my hand. It's about as big as my hand, about as tall as my hand. A nice size drum. And here is the pattern for that when you are at your LNS. Bittersweet drum. Why isn't it not lightening up? There we go. Okay, this was their main piece. This was the piece that I kitted up for them. This is called Bittersweet Farm. This was a sketch in my sketchbook forever. This also was artwork from my Bittersweet Farm fabric line. Actually, this drawing, what you see right here, was a drawing in my sketchbook. But those turkeys in the house and the Bittersweet made it into the fabric line. This was stitched by Denise, Denise, whoop whoop. Stitch 1/2 on 36 count vintage country mocha. Stitch count 121 by 121, so a square, perfectly square. And this is a Chantelle board that she made exclusive for this piece. So you'll be able to buy this board from Chantelle. I love how she designed it. Let me show you. It does not come with the kickstand though. I don't know, she may add that, but we didn't have the kickstand in the kit. I also gifted everyone at the retreat this board. So they were really spoiled at Primitive Gatherings. This is how they're, so what I did is I didn't tell them that they were gonna get the board, and then we surprised them with it, so that was really fun. So basically, I painted the board, and then I painted the roof black. And I did like a real soft dry brush so that I didn't get paint down in those little grooves, because I wanted that texture to show. And then there's an extra pumpkin as well. So then just paint that pumpkin orange, glue it on top of that. It turned out perfectly. So my house I painted in a like mustardy color. Let me look. Oh, I crackled it. No, I didn't. I didn't crackle it. It kind of looks crackled. I actually did that linen technique that Chantelle teaches. So I did orange underneath, and then I went over it with that mustardy kind of color. I don't know, probably 2 or 3 times, going back and forth to create a texture. And then you can see the roof and the pumpkin. Come on, man. There we go. So you can see that that paint is really washed on there. It's not real thick. I might have even, you know what I might have done? I might have taken black paint, watered it down, and just went over it with a cloth. Because I was really afraid of filling up those grooves with paint, and I didn't want to do that. And then I just painted my pumpkin. I painted grooves in the pumpkin, which is not hard. Basically, I painted the pumpkin a dark burnt orange, and then I painted a light orange just to create those grooves in the pumpkin, and then a little bit of brown for the stem. It was very easy to put together. It's just basically you put that on, you glue the roof on and the pumpkin on, and just make sure it lines up, and it's all good. And this piece fits perfectly on there. Oh gal, Lady Dot Creates again. And I actually supplied the rickrack to them all as well. I have a funny picture I'll have to insert. When I got all that rickrack in from Lady Dot Creates, it was like she like tied it in the center, so when it's holding up, I'm like, it looks like Raggedy Ann like hair, and I put it on my head, and I think I put the picture in my Patreon. Oh, I'm like, hey, I got a new hairdo, what do you think? But it's Lady Dot Creates. If I can find out the name, it'll be up here at the bottom. So that's all the Bittersweet goodness that I gave to the retreat attendees last fall at Primitive Gatherings. I think that's everything other than my book that has 8 designs. So let me just count real quick. And then I forgot to show this. The Bittersweet Farm cover, and it says, let's see, 2 weeks dye works, 4 classic color works, and the rest DMC. And don't forget, I post all of the photos and the back where you can get, if you want to start collecting all of your floss and fabric for any of these designs. It's always on my blog at teresakogut.com. I always do that for you guys. Okay, I'm going to take a break. I have to clear all this off so I can get the other 8 designs that are in a cool book for you guys. I'll be right back. I am coming out with a Hello Midnight book. You know, Hello Halloween is still one of our #1 sellers, and I wanted to do another Halloween book, but I didn't know what to name it, so I thought Hello Midnight really worked out nice. So here's the book. I'll just show you that first. This is what the book looks like. Hello Midnight. And there's 8 spooktacular designs by Teresa Kogut. And then here's the back. The fall colors, it's just, these books with the fall colors, I can't stand it. I also want to show you that I did a couple paintings to go in there. These are charts that are in the book. I've had these in my sketchbook forever, and I never painted them, and I'm like, we need some artwork that goes with this book. So here's one, and then I also painted I Scream, You Scream, We All Scream for Halloween. Love him. So I did those watercolor paintings, and they are featured in the inside cover of the book. Here's one of them. And then the back cover, here's the other one. So I did include those in the book. All right, where do we start? Let's start with, oh gosh, you know, I was gonna say one of my favorite pieces in the book, but it's hard to just pick favorites because I love them all. This is I Scream. I Scream, You Scream, We All Scream for Halloween. It's so fun. I gotta find it in the book so I can give you all the details. Look at him with those polka dot pants. This is model stitched by Jan Holder on 40 count Squirrel Nutkin by Tabby Cat, finished on a Shelby board by Chantelle's 141. I also used her DIY paints to get that cool finish. I used that salt wash. I know I didn't put that in my instructions, but yeah. Okay, so just real quick, Chantelle started a Patreon. You need to go check it out. You need to join it if you want to know how to do finishing like she does. I have not watched her do the salt wash finishing, but I bought it from her and I have all of her paints, and I just read the instructions on the salt wash jar and just went for it. And it's basically the same kind of paint as I was using prior, called Caramel Colors, where you don't have to mix the salt wash in. It's already in there, and you basically just take your brush, one of those cheap, 50-cent brushes, that you just dab it on and you make peaks and valleys. And then when you sand it, it just gives it the coolest effect. Look at that, how grungy that is. So yeah, super fun. So anyway, go to Chantelle's website and get her paints and that salt wash, and you can do this cool finish as well. Okay, this is black rickrack going around that I got from Hobby Lobby. I used so much black rickrack and I was always out when I needed it. So anyways, I bought it on a spool and there's a ton of it on there. And it's just, I don't know, I bought it a year or so ago. And then the black ribbon is Lady Dot Creates ribbon, just tied, I think I tied 2 around there. Yeah, there's 2 around there just to give it a little bit of fluff. He's holding his little pumpkin head trick-or-treat bucket, and he's so excited for Halloween that he can't stand it. He's got to scream. I love all the texture in his bow tie and his little polka dot pants. He's got little orange, what do you call that? I don't know, like, what do you call that? I don't know, on the top of his hat and stuff. It's so cute on this color fabric, but I would love to see him also stitched on like a sampler color or like a neutral color fabric. That would be so cool as well. So that is Ice Cream. Next we have Jolly Pumpkin. This is so fun. In the book, you can stitch it black like this, or you can stitch it in orange. So I give both of those in the book. So the orange, the pumpkin's orange in the other one, and then this banner at the bottom is black. So it's kind of basically just flip-flopping colors. Yeah, I finished it into an ornament. I just love it. So this ornament is also Chantelle, but I don't know the name of it. You'll just have to find it on her website. Okay, model stitched by Daisy Tolson 1/2 on 40 count cold foam by Bee Stitched Me. The stitch count is 84 by 79. And then the October, the C is a little moon, October 31st. I love his one tooth. That just cracks me up. Such a pretty fabric too, isn't it? So when I mounted it on the board, I just curved on each side so it would fit on here. Well, it would fit if it was square too, but I just thought it lended itself to that round top. Let me show you the back of the board so you can really see the shape of the board. Yeah. And this one, oh yeah, this one was also done with that salt bush. So I did like a grungy orange. You know what? I think I have it on here. No, I don't. I forget what I used on the bottom, and then I put the black over it and then sanded it. Oh, I love that grungy look. Love it, love it. Rusty crusty. So I think he's really cute. I'm sorry. I'm going to say they're really cute on everyone just because I think Halloween is so fun. I'm not being braggy. I'm just excited to share this stuff with you. Okay, Trick or Treat Express. This is the most quirky design I think I've ever designed. So quirky. Give you all the details. This was model stitched by Daisy Tolson 1/2 on 36 count Cosmic Platinum by Dames of the Needle, finished on an antique book with Mingo Rickrack by Lady Dot Creates. And look at Look at the book. 10 apples on top. Look at, there's 3 funny characters in this Dr. Seuss book. And then here we have, whoops, 3 funny characters. Riding a bunny. The bunny, you know, bunnies are fast. So they wanted to go trick-or-treating, and they had to go miles and miles because they lived out in the boonies. So they hitched a ride on a bunny. I mean, who wouldn't, right? These little things are candies. So they did hit a store, or a store. They did hit a house and got some candies, and then said, "Oh, we need to go into town. There's too many miles between each house." So this bunny was going by. He's like, "Hey dudes, I'll help you out. Hop on." So each of them are holding, well, these 2 are holding their bucket. This little guy, look at his face. He's scared to death. He dropped his bucket, but he is hanging onto a piece of candy. He's like, we're gonna die. I love the quirkiness of this. I love the faded colors too. Let me, I haven't been telling you, shoot. I haven't been telling you like the classic color works and all that. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Weeks Dye Works, 5 Classic Color Works, and 2 DMC. Again, go to my blog, teresakogut.com, and you can look up all the colors that were used. 36 count Cosmic Platinum. Okay, this might be 32 count, to be honest. You know why? Because I had a model stitched for the Quilter Station retreat on Cosmic Platinum, and I'm pretty sure I only have one. No, I'm not pretty sure. I'm like positive. I only have one piece of fabric of Cosmic Platinum by Dames of the Needle. And my model stitcher said, "Teresa, this is not 36 count." Because I wanted what I was designing to be stitched on 36 count. She said, "This is 32 count." And she was stitching at 1/1. I mean, 1/2, I'm sorry, 1/2. And she said, "So, being that it's 32 count, do you want me to continue doing 1/2, or would you like me to do 2 threads over 2? And I loved how it was turning out, so I said, don't take it out. Go ahead and keep going with it. And that could explain why these colors are so muted, because I want to say this is probably 32 count. It was labeled as 36 count. That's what I have in the book here. So, yeah, I have it in the book as 36 count, but I'm pretty sure it's 32. Anyways, I like 1/2 on 32 count. I don't have a problem with it at all. I think it looks great. It's a little bit more of a prim look. Oh, so fun. All right, next I'm kind of going in order of the book just because I have to look up all the details. This one is so fun. Fun. Stitchin' Witches. Stitchin' Witches is model stitched by Mary Schreiner, 1/2 on 40 count Acorn by Farmhouse Linens, which is Farm Girl Dry Goods, Michelle Rudy. The stitch count's 125 125 by 81. It has 3 Classic Color Works, 1 DMC, oh my gosh, start over. 3 Classic Color Works, 1 Weeks Dye Works, and 7 DMC. There's a lot of colors in this little one. This is a 5x7-ish frame. No, this is a 5x7 frame, that's right. Because I bought this frame, I couldn't get it custom sized, but I'm like, ooh, it'll fit a 5x7. So I ordered this on Etsy. And I don't know who the shop is, but I'll look in my Etsy orders and hopefully remember, and I'll put it down here at the bottom of the screen for you. So I stitched mine with a T and a K, and that is not for Teresa Kogut. That is for Teresa and Kristen, my soul sister. Look at the cat riding a key. I don't know why, but he is. we each have our scissors, you know. I don't want Kristen to use my scissors because she might walk off with them. Just kidding. And the little owl with the top hat on and the ghosts with the top hats on. I mean, seriously? Fun, just fun. And we got some yummy soup, some chicken noodle soup boiling while we're stitching away. I don't think those pumpkins are really happy that we're sitting on them. I think they're a little worried we might be too heavy. So that is stitching, not stitching, but stitching witches. And throughout the book, there's like little pieces of art and just fun stuff. Oh, the next one. Now the next one you've probably seen. If you follow me on Instagram, I did post this on Instagram, just kind of give you a little teaser. You know how I am. This is called Creepy Things. All the creepy things. No, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this on the screen and it's not easy. All the creepy things are seen on the night of Halloween. Look at his face. The moon is even scared of what? That buzzard. Who wouldn't be scared if a buzzard was flying towards you? Well, then they got scared. And look at the cat down here. He's like, what? So they all got freaked out and screamed or whatever. The noise came out of them, which scared the buzzard, and he lost some feathers. The poor bugger. So anyway, another just fun, whimsical. Halloween to me, you can just do the goofiest things, and it's okay. It works. All right, this was model stitched by Jan Mower, 1/2 on 40 count Gallows Hill by Needle and Flax. Finished on an antique book using Licorice Mini Pom Pom by Lady Dot Creates. The stitch count's 139 by 101. So on 40 count, it is 7 by 5. There's 1 Weeks Dye Works, 5 DMC, and 5 Classic Colorworks. And I give the DMC equivalent to all of my patterns in the book if you don't want to use overdyed. I love that cat. It looks like he had, you know what? Here's the deal. So his bucket is empty. He ate all his candy, and that's why he's got this big old belly. He's like super full. I just think it's funny that the moon, the cat, that cat, and even he's suspicious. Like, what's happening? What is that giant bird trying to get us? This is on a book called Jerry Goes Fishing. But look at that color orange. Was it not just perfect? Just perfect for this. Always be looking for antique books. And you can get them cheap. You can get them for a couple bucks, up to $5. Super cheap finishing. We have like 3 more, I think. All right, next we have our cover girl. You know what? I'm going to wait for the air conditioning to stop. It's so loud. Next we have our cover girl, Miracle Grow. Another super fun and quirky design. I love this girl. I love her gray hair. So she's watering her plant, and I called it Miracle Grow because she's growing jack-o'-lanterns. She's not growing pumpkins. They're already carved. They already have faces. They have hats and everything. That's why it's a Miracle Grow. 1809, no significance. Maybe there was when I sketched it out like 3 years ago. But I love how she's holding her cat. She must be squeezing him tight because that tail is straight out. So fun. I love this piece. She's kind of hippy-dippy. You can tell because of that urn that she has her jack-o'-lanterns growing out of, and the fact that she has gray hair and a long ponytail and a top hat. She's totally hippy-dippy. Okay, model stitched by Jan Holder, 1/2 on 40 count Brea by Needle and Flax. Finished using black rickrack from Hobby Lobby in a frame that was gifted to me by my soul sister, Kristen. And this frame is very cool. It's like a 5x7 frame. I guess I can show you this. So 4-side is the name. She had bought, there's this size and then there's a bigger size, and they came as a 2-pack, I think it was, and so she gave me the other. She didn't want two of each, so she gave me the other one. So anyway, if you're interested in that frame, you can try to find it. It's a very cool frame. It's already grunged up for me. I didn't have to do anything but slap her on there. Love it. I don't show it backstitched around her face, but her skin was really blending into the background, and I didn't mind so much her hand and her legs down here blending in, but her face really needed to stand out. So I'm pretty sure I put it in the book. Yeah, it says DMC 50 or 950 did not show up well on this fabric, so I backstitched her face using one strand of 3064, DMC 3064, which is not on the list of floss colors because it's just a tiny bit of it, and you could probably even use something else in your stash if you don't have 3064. But it really helps her face to stand out. And you know, we had to have this sweet girl's face stand out, right? I love her so much. She's so cute. All right, next we have Dancing Halloween Cats. Dancing Halloween Cats. Who doesn't like dancing cats holding pumpkin heads? I like the font. That was just like my handwriting. Again, this was in my sketchbook for the longest time. This is finished on an everything board by Chantelle 141, and I did that painting again, that cool salt wash mixed in with the paint to give it that grungy look. It looks so good. I don't have any trim or anything on this because it just barely fit this board, so I didn't have room for trim, which it does not need it really. Model stitched by Jan Moore, 1/2 on 40 count Grandpa sleeve by XU Designs. Finished using DIY paint on the everything board from Chantelle 141. Super fun. So this is stitched on 40 count. So if you stitched it on, well, here I have it right here. So the stitch count is 134 by 156. On 40 count, it's 6 3/4 by 7 3/4. So like on a 32, it would be 8 3/8 by 9 3/4. Or you could go 56 count, and it would be, oh my gosh, how cute, 4 3/4 by 5 5/8. That would be really cute. They're all cute. All the sizes are cute. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think this is the large everything board, and then she has an extra large. So if you did stitch it on 32 or 30 maybe even, but all that information is here in the book as far as how big the finished piece will be. So Classic Colorworks 1 and the rest DMC. Fallen Leaves I used, I think, throughout this entire book. That's where you get this variegation at the bottom. Fallen Leaves is one of my absolute favorites. And it's Grandpa's sleeve. Is that not the best fabric for this piece? Love it. So that is Dancing Halloween Cats. And last but not least, one that I'm very excited about. I'm not going to say it's my favorite in the book because I can't pick a favorite, to be honest. I really can't. I love this one. Halloween Barn Owl. Again, in my sketchbook for at least 2 years, maybe more. And every time I saw it in there, I would be like, girl, why have you not charted that yet? Model stitched by Kim Fishlin, 1/2 on 40 count Grandpa's sleeve by XU Designs. Finished with DIY paint on a Shelby board from Chantelle's 141, black rickrack from Hobby Lobby, and Jack ribbon from Lady Dot Creates. Now, I mentioned this in the book as well. So I'll just read it to you. The pattern on the owl's chest doesn't show well on my model because there's not enough difference between bamboo and eggshell. So I put that note in there. If you look close, there's actually supposed to be a little bit of shadowing here around his eyes. And there's actually a pattern. You can kind of see it. There's a zigzag pattern on his chest. So you either need to do a whiter white or a shade darker of the darker color to make that pattern show out if you want it to show out, if you want it to stand out. Yeah. So he's holding a branch full of jack-o'-lanterns, which I think is so fun. Again, I used the DIY paints on the Shelby board with that salt wash. I can't believe I didn't think to mention that anywhere in the book that I used that salt wash. But that's what I did. And then this fabric here is just some fabric that I had in my stash. So I put the black rickrack on, not thinking, well, you big silly, it's not going to show up against the black. So like I wasted all that time. And then I thought, well, I have room to put some fabric that would make it pop, and oh, does it ever make it pop? So yeah, I just put that fabric. I'm always, when I'm out at a quilt store, you know how they have those little, like little stacks of fabric and they're tied together with a ribbon or something? I'm always buying those because they make great, you know, it's great for finishing. It's not really showing up very well on here, but anyway. So there you have it. Halloween barn owl. I love him. My first time doing like an owl where the owl is featured as the centerpiece. I've you know, obviously charted owls like that are just small in the background type of thing, but so there you go. That is 8 designs, almost said 5. That is 8 designs in my new Hello Midnight book. Again, we are ready to ship, so if you see anything you like in today's new releases, go ahead and contact your favorite LNS or ONS and get your stuff ordered. I'm so excited about this release. And I also mentioned, but I'll mention it again, that if you go to teresakogut.com, all of these will be, you'll see the photo of it, and you'll also see what I used to have them stitched. I don't think I stitched any of these, but I did do the 2 punch needle. Thank you, model stitchers. I couldn't do it without you. I'd be dead in the water if I didn't have model stitchers. So I owe you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm also grateful for all of my shops who carry our designs. And I'm extremely grateful for all of you who support my work by purchasing my designs. I couldn't be more like just over the moon with this business that I have, and just how I got here is beyond my wildest dreams. I would have never guessed that I would be a cross stitch designer ever. If you would have told me that 30 years ago, I would have said, what's cross stitch? So anyway, I just owe so much gratitude to all of you, or I have so much gratitude for all of you. I really do appreciate you, and thank you for watching, and yeah, don't forget to create every day. Bye now.